years ago, a group of men and women walked into studios across America and pressed their hearts onto vinyl, and the world has never been the same.
Honey, you do me wrong, but still I'm crazy about you.
These weren't just songs, they were dispatches from the soul. Raw, aching, electric dispatches that somehow still feel like they were written for right now.
Wait till midnight. That's when my love.
10 recordings, 60 years old, and every single one of them still hits like the first time. Welcome back to Retro Vinyl. Let's go back to 1965.
Sugar pie, honey bunch. You know that I love you.
Number 10, Ooh Baby Baby, by the Miracles. Smokey Robinson didn't write this song at a piano or in a recording booth. He wrote it by accident, on a stage in Washington, D.C., during a live show at the Howard Theater. He was performing a medley of love songs when, on a whim, he ad-libbed the phrase, "Ooh, baby, baby." The other Miracles heard it, and without a word, they harmonized behind him instantly. The crowd lost its mind, so they decided right there, this had to be a song.
Human, you made mistakes too.
Released on March 5th, 1965, Ooh Baby Baby climbed to number 4 on the Billboard R&B chart and number 16 on the Hot 100.
I still love you until that day ends.
Smokey later called it his national anthem, saying it was the one song every crowd in every city always asked for. Rolling Stone agreed, ranking it among the 500 greatest songs of all time.
But in the game, I lost you. What?
60 years on, that falsetto still sounds like it was plucked from somewhere beyond this world. Number 9, Got to Get You Off My Mind by Solomon Burke.
Got to get you off of my mind.
On the night of December 11th, 1964, Solomon Burke had dinner with his close friend Sam Cooke. A few hours later, Cooke was dead, shot at a motel in Los Angeles under tragic circumstances. Burke returned to his hotel room that same night and found a special delivery letter from his wife. She was filing for divorce. In that single night, he lost his best friend and his marriage. He sat down and started writing. "I couldn't get Sam off my mind," Burke later said. There's the song. Recorded in January 1965 with legendary Atlantic producer Jerry Wexler, Got to Get You Off My Mind became the biggest hit of Solomon Burke's entire career.
Some folks' love is hard and strong.
It powered to number 1 on the Billboard R&B chart for 3 consecutive weeks and crossed into the Pop Top 40. It was the first and only number 1 of his life.
That's the kind of love that'll never last.
For a man who once coined the very term soul singer, it was only fitting that his crowning moment was born from genuine soul-deep pain.
I gotta get you off of my mind.
Number 8, Shotgun by Junior Walker and the All-Stars.
I said shotgun.
Junior Walker was a saxophone player, not a singer. He never planned to open his mouth on this record. But when the session vocalist hired for the track simply didn't show up at Motown's Hitsville, U.S. studio, producer Berry Gordy made a snap decision. Walker would sing it himself. Walker was stunned. Gordy kept the take anyway. And there's one more hidden gem in that recording. The gunshot sound you hear at the opening, it's not a real gun. It's guitarist Eddie Willis accidentally kicking his amplifier, which through echo and compression sounded exactly like a bullet. Released in February 1965, Shotgun hit number 1 on the R&B chart for 4 non-consecutive weeks and peaked at number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100. It was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame in 2002. And if you watch the historic TV performance that summer on Nashville's Channel 5 Night Train show, keep your eye on the guitarist to the right of the drummer, a then unknown Jimi Hendrix, touring at the time with Little Richard. Number 7. I Can't Help Myself, Sugar Pie, Honey Bunch, by Four Tops. Lamont Dozier. 1/3 of Motown's unstoppable Holland Dozier Holland writing team has said he came up with the Sugar Pie Honey Bunch line as a kid, listening to his grandparents bicker.
When you snap your finger or wink your eye, I come running to you.
His grandfather would get flustered and call his grandmother names like that, not out of anger, but out of confused affection. That moment stuck with him for years. When he and Brian and Eddie Holland sat down to write something for the Four Tops in 1965, those childhood words came flowing right back.
In and out my life, you come and you go.
Released in late April 1965, I Can't Help Myself was an absolute monster.
I can't help myself, 'cause I love you and nobody else.
It hit number 1 on both the Billboard Hot 100 and the R&B chart, holding the R&B top spot for 9 straight weeks, making it Billboard's biggest R&B single of the entire year.
When I call your name, girl, it starts the flame burning in my heart.
It was also ranked the second biggest song of 1965 overall, across all genres, right behind the Rolling Stones' Satisfaction.
And there is nothing that I can do.
Lead singer Levi Stubbs had one of the great voices of that generation, and on this track he used every inch of it.
No matter how I try, my love I can't hide, 'cause sugar pie, honey.
Number 6. Stop, In the Name of Love by the Supremes. Holland Dozier Holland were on a historic run with the Supremes by early 1965. The trio had already delivered 3 consecutive number 1 hits: Where Did Our Love Go?, Baby Love, and Come See About Me.
Baby, baby, I'm aware of where you go.
When Lamont Dozier heard Brian Holland play a new riff, it clicked immediately. He said it went perfectly with the phrase, "Stop in the name of law," a twist he came up with on the spot.
Stop in the name of love.
Eddie Holland then took that phrase and bent it into something unforgettable. A woman standing firm, daring a cheating lover to think about what he's about to lose.
Haven't I been good to you? Haven't I been?
Released on February 8, 1965, the song reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, making the Supremes the first act in history to score 4 consecutive chart toppers.
I tried so hard to be patient, hoping.
They extended the run to 5 with their very next single. The song was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame in 2001, and the iconic hand-on-hip pose that Diana Ross and the girls performed with it became one of the most imitated gestures in pop culture.
Hoping you would stop this infatuation, but each day.
60 years later, you still know exactly what it means the moment someone throws that hand up.
Pick it over, baby, baby, pick it over.
5 songs in, and we haven't even touched a gospel-trained powerhouse who was almost robbed of her own hit.
Come on, baby, and rescue me, 'cause I need you.
A godfather who invented a new genre in one take, or the song born from 2 men in a hotel room who had nothing to prove and everything to feel.
Wait till the midnight hour, when there's no
1965 was not playing around. If you're watching this and feeling every single second of it, hit that like button and subscribe to Retro Vinyl.
ooh, I'm loving you. Oh.
We do this every week, digging into the records that shape the world. The 5 songs still coming are the ones that hit deepest. Stay with us. Number 5. Rescue Me by Fontella Bass.
Rescue me, or take me in your arms. Rescue me.
Fontella Bass had been singing since she was 6 years old, in church, in gospel choirs, alongside her mother. But when she arrived at Chess Records in Chicago in 1965, the music business was a different world, and the fight for credit in that world was real.
I want your tender charm, 'cause I'm lonely and I'm blue.
One Saturday afternoon in August 1965, Bass was in a rehearsal room at Chess with writers Raynard Miner and Carl Smith when arranger Phil Wright walked in. The four of them started jamming, and Rescue Me came out of that session.
I need you and your love too. Come on and rescue me. Come on, baby.
The songwriting credit, however, was initially given only to Miner and Smith. Bass spent years fighting for her proper credit as a co-writer.
Take me, baby. Hold me, baby. Love me, baby.
The song was recorded in just 3 takes and released in September 1965. It shot straight to number 1 on the R&B chart for 4 weeks and peaked at number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100, making it the biggest hit of Bass's career.
Come on, baby, and be my man, 'cause I love you.
On the track, a young musician named Maurice White played drums. That same Maurice White would go on to found Earth, Wind and Fire.
Come on and take my heart, take your love, and comfort.
Fontella Bass later said she first heard Rescue Me being used in an American Express commercial in 1990 on New Year's Day at a low point in her life, and it brought her to tears. She had never been paid for its use.
I'm lonely. Rescue me, rescue me.
A woman who had to fight for everything she earned. The next artist on our list didn't have to fight. He just had to show up, open his mouth, and change the sound of music forever.
His rhythm and blues. So let's have a fine welcome for a very fine talent.
Number 4. Papa's Got a Brand New Bag by James Brown.
He ain't no brand. Papa's got a brand new bag.
James Brown walked into Arthur Smith Studios in Charlotte, North Carolina. In February 1965, fresh off a bruising legal battle with King Records.
Not too bad, but it's fine and pretty good.
He had just won complete artistic control over his recordings and his own publishing company. To celebrate, or maybe to prove a point, he cut a song in a single take. The band was exhausted. Brown himself later said they were too tired to play it faster. But that fatigue became magic.
Don't play him cheap, cause you know he ain't got. You threw the monkey.
The tape was sped up slightly for the single release, raising the pitch and tightening the groove. And as the recording began, before the drums even kicked in, Brown shouted something into the mic. "This is a hit."
Ain't you hip now? Put that to breathe.
He was right. Papa's Got a Brand New Bag became Brown's first top 10 pop single, peaking at number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100 and spending 8 weeks at number 1 on the R&B chart.
Ain't you hip now? But I can dig the new breeze.
It won Brown his first Grammy Award for Best R&B Recording. Rolling Stone ranked it number 72 on their all-time greatest songs list.
Come here, sister. Papa's in love.
Music historians widely cite it as the moment funk was born as its own distinct genre. The moment the downbeat shifted and everything that came after had to find a new center of gravity. The Godfather invented a new genre in one exhausted take. The next song on our list took its time getting to the charts. But when it arrived as a declaration of soul at its most vulnerable.
With you, man.
Number 3, I've Been Loving You Too Long by Otis Redding.
Have been loving you.
Otis Redding and fellow soul man Jerry Butler wrote this song in a hotel room in Buffalo, New York. Just two men trading lines, pouring genuine pain onto a page.
My love is growing stronger.
Butler later said no one else could have sung it the way Otis did. Nobody else on the face of this earth would have gotten that song, because it was intended for him. The premise is aching and simple. A man whose love has grown so deep he cannot stop, even as he feels the other person pulling away. It's the sound of devotion becoming something close to despair.
And I don't want to stop now.
Released in April 1965, the song reached number 21 on the Billboard Hot 100 and climbed to number 2 on the R&B chart, the biggest hit of Redding's life while he was still alive.
I'm down on my knees. Please don't make me stop now, yeah.
It was later added to the National Recording Registry and inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame. But its true monument came at the Monterey Pop Festival in 1967, where Redding performed it live for nearly 6 minutes, stretching it, breaking it open, making an already devastating song into something that people who were there say they have never stopped hearing.
Do it just one more time, one more.
He died just months later, at 26, in a plane crash.
Too long, and I don't want to stop now.
Otis Redding gave everything he had, right up until the end. The next artist on our list also gave everything, even when Motown's boss wasn't sure the people were ready for it.
Honey, you do me wrong, but still I'm crazy about you.
Number 2, Ain't That Peculiar by Marvin Gaye. This one was a collaboration between two of Motown's greatest forces. Smokey Robinson wrote it alongside fellow Miracles Pete Moore, Bobby Rogers, and guitarist Marv Tarplin, and then handed it to Marvin Gaye to record.
Stay away too long and I can't do without you.
The song is deceptively playful on the surface, a man baffled by his own inability to leave a relationship that's hurting him. But in Gaye's hands, it became something deeper. His voice finds layers in those lyrics that the words alone don't quite reach. Frustration, longing, and a kind of bewildered tenderness all at once.
Every chance you get, you seem to hurt me more and more.
Released in September 1965, Ain't That Peculiar hit number 1 on the R&B chart and number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100, becoming Gaye's second million-selling single of that year alone.
But each hurt makes my love stronger than before.
Billboard called it a first-rate Gaye performance with a penetrating hard drive on dance beat. It remained his best-known solo hit until I Heard It Through the Grapevine arrived in 1968.
I know flowers grow from rain, but how can love grow from pain?
In 1965, Marvin Gaye had 3 separate top 10 pop hits, a feat that tells you everything about what kind of year he was having and what kind of artist he was becoming. Marvin Gaye was becoming a legend right before everyone's eyes. But number 1 on our list today? That song didn't need to become anything. It arrived as a legend, fully formed, fully charged, and impossible to ignore. Number 1, In the Midnight Hour by Wilson Pickett.
I'm gonna wait till the midnight hour. That's when my love.
On May 11th, 1965, Wilson Pickett flew to Memphis with something to prove. His first 2 singles for Atlantic Records had failed to chart. The label was running out of patience.
When there's no one else around.
Producer Jerry Wexler brought him to the Stax Studios to work with guitarist Steve Cropper, and the two of them checked into the Lorraine Motel, the same motel where, 3 years later, Martin Luther King Jr. would be assassinated on the balcony. In a room at that motel, Pickett and Cropper wrote In the Midnight Hour and Don't Fight It in 2 hours flat. The next day, they cut both songs at Stax with Booker T and the MGs. During the session, Wexler jumped up and started dancing, specifically demonstrating a new move called the jerk, where dancers put the accent on beat 2 instead of 1. That became the song's rhythmic backbone. The song hit #1 on the R&B chart on August 7, 1965, and stayed there for weeks, spending 16 weeks on the chart total. It crossed over to number 21 on the Billboard Hot 100 and went gold.
That's when my love comes tumbling down. I'm gonna wait.
Rolling Stone placed it at number 134 on their 500 Greatest Songs of All Time list. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame named it one of the 500 songs that shaped rock and roll. And today, with over 134 million streams on Spotify, it has never stopped reaching new ears.
That twinkle in your eyes. I'm gonna wait.
From a hotel room in Memphis under impossible pressure, Wilson Pickett created one of the most enduring pieces of American music ever recorded.
I'm gonna hold you in my arms, just you and I.
10 songs, 60 years, and not one of them has aged a single day.
My heart went out to play, but in the game.
That's what 1965 was. A year when soul music was so alive, so electric, that the recordings still carry the charge.
I said, shut up.
You can feel the rooms they were made in. You can hear the urgency in the voices. These weren't products. They were confessions. So here's the question we want to leave you with. Which of these songs were you raised on? Which one did you hear first? And where were you when you heard it?
Stop in the name of love.
Tell us in the comments. We read every single one. This has been Retro Vinyl. Until next time, keep the needle on the record and the volume where it belongs.
I can't help myself.